So we covered copying and pasting. We've covered linking. Now we're going to cover how to embed an Excel worksheet into a Word document. And if you embed a worksheet, it is completely separate from the original. So you can make changes to the original without that impacting the embedded object. So you will embed something when you still want it to be an Excel object, but the information doesn't have to be current. So we are going to be opening PT Word November Pay and PT Excel November Pay. So here's Excel and here's Word. And once we get those open, we are going to save them with the one in the dash at the front. And we'll come over to Word and do basically the same thing. And then we're going to go into Excel and copy A3 through D8. So the same little chunk we've been working with, we're going to copy. And then let me minimize this one. And that brings us into Word. I'm going to press Control and N to make sure I'm at the bottom. And then I'm going to click on the arrow below Paste. I still need to do Paste Special, but instead of pasting a link, I'm just going to choose the regular Paste option because that will embed. And then I'm going to choose Microsoft Excel Worksheet Object. So it's still going to look like an Excel object. The difference between embedding and linking is with embedding, there is no connection to the original. So I can make changes to it in Word without impacting the original Excel file, and I can make changes to the Excel file without affecting Word. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And you can see that this looks very similar to the linked object, but how it functions is completely different. And we're going to save our changes. And they would like us to go back over into Excel. And let me press Escape. Gets rid of that marching ant thing. And then we're going to click on row 2. And then we'll save and close this. And that brings us back into Word. And we are going to make a little adjustment above our table. Okay, and just change the November 5th to November 12th. And then we're going to change the data in the table itself. So we are going to point our mouse in here and double click. That is how you change an embedded object. It kind of puts you into editing mode, and it almost looks like you're in Excel. Okay? But you can see that it's still embedded into Word. But while we are in this little embedded object, you will notice that we have the Excel commands. And so what we're going to do is adjust some of the numbers here. And so we're going to click on B4. And all of the employees this particular week, even though they're part-time, they all worked 40 hours. So I'm going to click on 40, and then I'm just going to grab the fill handle and kind of drag it down. And that adjusts all of their hours to 40. And let's see, they would like us to go down a row. So I'm using the scroll bar here. And I think the direction in the book tells you to click on A8 and press the down arrow key. It doesn't really matter how you get to it, but you do want to see row 9. And they would like us to total up some of the information. So we're going to key in total. And then we're going to go over to D9, and we're going to use the auto sum here. And that just adds the numbers in that last column to give us kind of a grand total. So I'm going to press enter. And then I do need to adjust the size of my embedded object. Because if I scroll up to what we had before, we can't see that total. So what I'm going to do is position over the sizing handle in the middle at the bottom. And I'm just going to drag it down about a row's worth, and that displays the total. Now you may be wondering, if I added columns, could I make it wider? Yes. And you'll also notice if you scroll up that when we embed, not just the range of cells is available, the whole entire thing is available. So, you know, if I wanted to make this the full size, I could. But all I'm going to do is display the information that we need in Word, which is basically rows 3 through 9. Okay, and then to get out of this embedded object, all I have to do is click outside of it. Okay, and I should have all of the data displayed. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and save. So again, to edit an embedded object, you simply double click. Okay, and when you're in edit mode, because this is an Excel object, we are seeing Excel commands. So you can make your changes, you can adjust the size of the embedded object. And when you're done, you just kind of click outside the object, and now you're back with your Word commands.